All right, greetings. Hello, Light It Up TV family. This is your host, Cheryl, and we are here for another episode of Talk About It Tuesday. And as you can see, I have an amazing guest that's with me talking about a great topic, Mr. James Gadson, and we'll let him introduce himself in a little bit. So, listen, I'll give everybody an opportunity to join in with us. I normally start 7:03, 7:04 because I know that it takes a little time sometimes for it to stream to the other platforms. Hi Terry. Hey. Oh my goodness. That is my business mentor, Terry Cowser. Listen, you all. Shout out to Terry, okay? If you all looking for business credit, personal credit, business mentorship, Terry is the girl. Y'all need to go ahead and follow her. She was one of the ones that actually pushed me to go ahead and start this podcast. So, yes, I'm so glad she can join. All right. So, if you are just joining us, say hello to us. Let us know where you are joining from. Say hello. Go ahead and share this video out so that others can see that we are live. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to, James, I don't know if you have your phone with you that you can share it out. Sure. Let everyone know that we are live. We are live. All right, let's see. We are live. If anyone is just joining us, please say hello to us. Please say hello and let us know that you are here. Yes, I'm excited for you to be on too, Terry. Joining from Philly. Yes. Awesome. Anyone else that's joining us, go ahead and share this video out. Let everyone know that we are live. This is a topic that is going to be good for everyone, right? Whether you have children, kindergarten through fifth grade or not. The podcast mission is to give children a voice and teach them how to use their voices to impact their families, their schools, and their communities. And right now, Talk About It Tuesdays, that is for the parents of the kindergarten through fifth grade children, or the guardians, or the aunties, the uncles, the godparents, everyone, teachers, everyone that are in the lives of kindergarten through fifth grade children. This podcast is for you. And we know that's probably most of us that has some cousins, nieces, nephews, right? I'm a Gigi and I'm an auntie. So, yes. So share this video out. We normally start, it is 7:04. I'll give everyone one more minute to come in to join us. Join us. We are live. All right. Say hello if you are just joining us. Please say hello to us. Let us know that you are here. And let me share this link out. We are so glad that you can join us here for our Talk About It Tuesday. Let us know who you are. Let us know who you are. Let me put this in. Let's see. We'll start in about 30 more seconds. Hi, Christina. Oh, that's two tagging people. Yes. Tag them. Let them know that we are live. Let them know that we are live. All right. Welcome to Talk About It Tuesday. I am your host, Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Talk About It Tuesday. We have a great topic on this evening. Our topic is water safety. All right, water safety awareness. It is summertime. We're going to pools, we're going to beaches, we're going to lakes. Hi, Charity. Hi, Deanna Greenwood. Thank you all so much for joining us. Water safety awareness. And I want to remind you before we actually get into our Talk About Tuesday podcast and the information with Mr. James Gadson, I want to remind everyone of our giveaway. drawing that we are doing at the end of the month. Okay, we are doing a drawing, James. Yes, for a It Ends With Me t-shirt and a $25 gift card. And it's easy. All you have to do is share the post out. If you see a Light It Up TV Kids podcast post, all you have to do is share the video out, share the post out, tag 2 people. When you share it out, tag 2 people. Each one of them is a point, and we will tally those up and see who our winner is at the end of the month. Okay. Also, we are on a campaign to reach 200 subscribers. Listen, on our YouTube channel. All right, 200 subscribers. Listen, you all. Hey, mommy, how are you, Lou? That's my mom, you all. Listen, I need you all to help us out. Message somebody. Hey, Denise, message someone, send it to them in a text. Everyone in your family, you have coworkers, you have friends. If you know that this content can be a blessing to others, share it with them. Help us to reach our 200 subscribers. Okay. All right. If you can do that, just give me a thumbs up. All right. Give me a thumbs up, or I got it if you are doing that. Okay. Share this video out. If you are just joining us, go ahead and share this video out to let others know we are live for me. Okay. All right, you all. Let's go ahead and jump into our topic. June is Safety Awareness Month. Okay, June is Safety Awareness Month. And when I was praying, asking the Lord, as I always do, what is the topic that He wants us to? Thank you, Terry. What is the topic that He wants us to focus on in terms of safety? And I came upon an Instagram post, and that Instagram post, it had a young lady, and she said, parents, if you have your children at the pools during the summer, make sure you keep your eyes on them, because water is fun, but water, it can also be a silent killer. And when she said that, I was like, wow. And I thought about an experience that I had personally that I'll share a little bit later, but I felt that was the connection. Like, yes, let's talk about water safety, because everyone's having fun during the summer, and some good tips can be very helpful for our parents, the people that are actually caring for our kindergarten through 5th grade children. So our guest, Mr. James Gadson. Thank you so much. I've known you for quite some time, and I know that you have a ton of experience. Hi, Rhonda. A ton of experience in water safety awareness. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about your experience, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Well, first, I'd like to say thank you for having me on this great platform. And you always put out great content. And I just appreciate you getting this message out about the importance of water safety and how important it is for not just us as a minority, but for all kids and adults to understand the importance of water safety. So I'll hop into it. So I'm originally from Columbia, and we're in Charlotte now. But I started out swimming at the age of 3. I started out swim lessons at the age of 3, and at the old Drew pool. I know a lot of people are familiar with the new Drew with the glass going down, I think, Gervais Street. But I started lessons at the old Drew, the 50-meter pool, tie dives and all that. And I started there at the age of 3. And then I transitioned on to the Drew swim team when I was able to, prove that I was able to, hang in the deep end and things like that. And typically swim teams, you don't really compete until you're able to swim 25 meters, 25 yards without stopping, or typically without stopping. So and then Drew closed. So after Drew closed, my mom decided to put me at swim on a swim team at Greenview swim team in the Greenview area. For those who are in the Columbia area, you all know the Greenview area. So Greenview Dolphins is where I continued swimming.
Wow.
And a lot of hot days out there in that water. And then as I got, became stronger swimmer, had gained more endurance, I started doing year-round swimming with Palmetto Aquatics.
Wow.
That's we swam on base at Fort Jackson.
And how old were you then, James?
I think I was about maybe 12.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I didn't swim too many years with Palmetto, but I definitely remember the year round swimming, going into the summer, then swimming again year
Uh-huh.
round.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yep. And that brings me to I transitioned from swimming at 14, 15. That's when you're able to get your certification to be a lifeguard.
Wow.
And my swim coach, Coach Stanley McIntosh of the Grandview Dolphins, he pushed, hey, this is a great first job for you all. So it's not just about the competitiveness, but also the job opportunity as a first job. 15 years old, lifeguarding. So I
Wow.
transitioned into that, and then after that, you go into your lifeguarding, and then once you become, well versed in that area, then you get interested in the, water safety and become a swim instructor.
Wow.
So yeah, and then you just work, you work your way up, be able to train lifeguards, train instructors. So yep.
So lifeguarding and then swim instructor, or swim instructor then lifeguarding, which is like the top tier?
Sure. So I'd say um, it can vary. It depends
Okay.
on the person's level of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I used to manage a pool,
Mm-hmm.
there were some people who had the skills to just teach. They had that knack to just
Mm-hmm.
teach kids and have that connection to teach
Mm-hmm.
not only kids but adults. So some people just came in for that. But then you
Mm-hmm.
had those like the younger kids who aren't really well versed on their communication skills, and they're still
Right.
trying to figure things out.
Mm-hmm.
They are better suited for lifeguarding. Um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it's
So it all
great.
depends. It all depends
Mhm,
on that. There are different factors in that.
mhm,
This
definitely.
is good. Well, listen, I want to say I see that we have Selena that just joined us. She says very important topic. I see
Mhm,
that we have Gloria. Hi, Gloria. Thank you so much for joining us. I see Ajada Reigns, and Ajada already has a great comment, and we can actually start with that, Ajada, and then we'll go ahead and talk about. And yes, I do agree, you all. This is a very important
yes.
topic, and I'm so glad that you all are here to discuss this with us, because that's what Talk About It Tuesdays are for
Mhm,
us to have some real, raw, open discussions about challenges, topics, issues for the parents, or just real discussions of things that
mhm.
surround our kindergarten through fifth grade children and their parents. So thank you so much. If you're just joining us, go ahead and share this video out. So Ajada says, this is so good. I'm about to take swim lessons because but I guess that maybe I fear not
Mhm.
being able to save my own life or someone else's.
Mm.
Wow. Yes, Terry said 100. Yes. So, James, what do you have to say about that? And Ajada, that's really good because, okay, so I'm going to go ahead, Ajada, and share. And then, James, I'm going to let
Okay.
you share. Whenever I actually this week, I have been looking, first of all, most of the summer for my grandchildren swim lessons. I think I shared that with James. And my
Mhm.
granddaughter is 2.5, and my grandson is 8 months. And I was looking for them diligently, someone that could actually come to our pool here. And when I finally found someone, because James, I would have gotten you, but you were in North Carolina. So, but when I finally found someone, oh my gosh, okay. What the young I shared with him how I really wanted them to learn how to swim and not be afraid of the water. And he asked me a question, and this is based off what Ajada just said. He said, I understand that you want to get your grandchildren lessons. He said, but what about you? He
Mm.
said, can you swim? He said, God
Mm.
forbid if they're there and something happens to them, would you be able to save them? Would you be able to help them? And my heart went like this. My heart, like over the phone, my heart began to pound. And I said, well, I can survive. He said, I know that
Mhm.
you can survive for you, but would you be able to help them? And he said, that is the issue that I've been seeing, that parents want to get their children to swim lessons, but they don't know how to swim themselves. So Ajada says, so I see that Selena says, yes, my kids are taking lessons. It is a life skill. All right, Selena. So let us know the ages of your children, Selena, and how long have they been taking lessons. Ajada says, and I almost drowned as a child. Wow. Wow. Ajada, I would like for you to share a little bit about that. But let's go back to her statement, James, that I want you to talk about. She said, I'm about to take swim lessons, but I fear not being able, no, because I fear not being able to save my own life or someone else's.
Yeah,
What,
that's a really good, strong statement. Um, I commend you, Ajada, just for being brave enough to one realize that there's a need, and two to face that. I've taught adults, and sometimes adults have fears for various reasons.
mm-hmm,
Some may have, due to childhood trauma, being pushed in the water, being thrown in the water.
mm-hmm,
Some have been, passed down through just
yeah,
horrifying stories where grandparents or parents might have um, experienced or seen a friend who possibly might have lost their life or near
mm-hmm,
loss um, through, just being around the water.
mm-hmm,
So I just commend her for being brave enough to take that step, because although I grew up around the water and, literally don't remember myself ever not swimming or
mm-hmm,
knowing how to swim, there is a very real fear. And
mm-hmm.
I've taught many adults who have, a real clear, hesitancy about water. And I don't take it lightly, even
How do
with my
you,
experience.
how, okay, so Selena said her
Mhm.
children are ages 7 through 12, and this is their second
Mhm.
year swim lessons. Excellent.
Okay.
But she also said that she needs lessons too herself.
Mhm.
So, audience, let us know how many of you know how to swim as adults. If you are an adult that's over 25, okay, let us know if you know how to swim. Let us know. I want to know how many of our adults that are in the chat know how to swim. And this is what he said. When I said I can survive, James, he said, can you jump in 12 feet of water and tread what is that? Is that what it's called? Tread water
Yeah.
for a
Water.
minute. He said tread water for a minute. And I said, that's what I paused. Because yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
Natanya said not me. All right. Anybody else? I want to hear from you. Let us know in the chat, guys. All right, James. The other question, let's see. Let's talk about safety tips as we're talking about with our adults. Let's go back. If there's anyone that has a fear of something like that, what do you say to, do they just fight through that? Is there
Mhm.
anything, whenever you were given lessons, what would you say to someone, or how does that look for them if they had a fear like that?
Cool. So first, I agree, or I approach it with, the most utmost understanding, because water um, can be, it can be a scenario or an environment that can become dangerous
Mhm.
very quick. Um, so when, like many adults, their first time in the water, we're used to being in the tubs and things like
Mhm.
that. But when it comes
Mhm.
to a situation where, many people are out of control, water is unpredictable. That's where you see the hesitancy on the first lesson,
And it
where
makes you
they're
fearful so quickly, right? It makes you fearful so quickly. Yeah.
hmm And it takes you out of your comfort zone, because we're not used to being in the body of water. So
Mhm.
um, the first thing I do when it comes to, just helping adults is building that trust. I believe that, I can't bring anybody into any body of water, and if they already have some type of hesitancy about it, if
Mhm.
they don't feel like they can trust me
Mhm.
in the water.
Mhm.
So I approach it not only with um, a sense of understanding, but a sense of trust, but also helping them understand that yes, it is a big hill to climb, it is a wall to climb, but it can be done,
Yeah.
and it can be fun at the same time.
Mm.
So
It can be fun.
that's my first lesson, is just, hey, let's get comfortable, and even with the little ones, same method, building that trust. And I think at the Y, they call it water acclimation. That's a portion
Okay.
of the classes that call it water acclimation, where you're literally just spending 30 minutes every session just doing practicing different different skills or different routines to help people become acclimated to
It
the
means
water.
like the baby
Same
just
goes
get
for adults.
comfortable with the water. Is that like the first step?
Yeah.
Just getting someone comfortable with being in that water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I see we have some comments, James. So I asked the question, adults, how many of you know how to swim? If you are an adult that's over 25, let us know if you know how to swim. And so this is what we have here. Natanya, thank you so much for joining us. And she says, not me. Charity says she can. Yes. I see your hand raised. Denise says, I gave my boys swimming lessons when they were young. I'm afraid of the water. Thank you so much for sharing that, Denise. Rhonda says, I'm a weaker swimmer. I don't panic and I'm okay. However, I couldn't save someone. I fear their panic would possibly cause both of us to drown. Wow, that's a great point, Rhonda. Such a great
That is
point.
a
Thank you
great
so
point.
much for sharing that. And Denise said, but I enjoy watching them swim. Selena says, no, I could not tread in any amount of water. Ooh, yeah, that's how I feel too. Like that, just thinking about it, you all brings like a bit of anxiety, right? And then Ajada says, Denise agreed. Ajada says, trust is everything in a place that you're not comfortable. I'm coming to take lessons with Mr. Gadson.
uh, yeah,
Listen, we'll have to. He's right in Charlotte.
yeah,
I don't know if
right
he
up the
has the
street.
time now, but he's right in Charlotte. Okay, so listen, guys, this is very, very good. Christina, I learned how to swim as a child, but I definitely need to get back into swimming regularly to make sure I have the stamina for it. So, and let me share about myself. I've only taken when I came to my aunt for the summer in Columbia from small rural town county, Williamsburg County, Kingstree. I came to my aunt. Her children were going to swim lessons, and she just had me to tag along. So I took like maybe a few 2 or 3 weeks of lessons from what they were doing, and I learned enough from there to be able to swim underwater from one side to the other. I can't tread any water. I don't know how to do that, but I can swim. I can float. I can swim on my back. I can swim underwater. I do have a problem. I'm not as good with overhand and turning to breathe, but I'm better underwater. So I practice that regularly, pushing myself to see how long I can hold my breath going from one side of the pool to the other. So I do that on a regular basis, but would I be able to save someone? No. All right. So, all right, let's get into some tips. We're talking about safety tips for first, James, I want to ask you, I know this is another question that I had. Do you think that is it our culture of African American children that, or is that just a stereotype that don't know how to swim? Like whenever you had children there that you were teaching to swim, what is your thoughts about that? Is it a lot of us, or is just overall across the board that children need to learn how to swim? What are your thoughts on
So
that?
yeah, definitely. So just a little bit on my background. My mom made sure that both me and my brother knew how to swim. That was just something that she had within her, a desire. And here's the catch: she did not know how to swim. She
Wow.
did not know how to swim. So
Mhm.
the desire to make sure that we knew how to swim was kind of vicarious. She was kind of living vicariously through us to make
Mhm.
sure that we had and met our swim goals to where if we go around any body of water, we would know how to swim and know how to not only protect ourselves and keep ourselves safe, but others. So I
Wow.
would say um, for us as African Americans, there is a great. There's not too many of us out there in that water, especially in South Carolina and across the nation.
Uh-huh.
and me being a part of, I don't know if many people know this, but Greenview Dolphin swim team is the only, or I'm not sure if it is now, but was the only black swim team in the state of South Carolina.
Wow.
So
Hold on. Stop
oftentimes,
that, because that's deep. What you said at the time when you were doing it, Greenview. That's actually where my aunt took us to Greenview. So Greenview was the only black swim team in the whole state of South Carolina. Wow.
Only. So every, we faced, not, just you get used to being, sore thumb in the crowd at these big meets, where, your teammates very well. We stick out like a sore thumb.
Wow.
But, yeah, so, we, even through that, being, not, it's not too many of us in the sport, even today, there is a great gap between us and other cultures that where many of our children just don't know how to swim, from adults down. There's a statistic on the Red Cross site that states that across the board that African Americans and coming from African American home, our numbers are greatly lower percentage wise than that of other races.
Wow.
And also, let me pull that stat just so I'm speaking factual.
And that's on the Red Cross site.
Yes, the Red Cross site. 64% of African Americans, 45% of Hispanic, Latino, and 40% of Caucasian children have few to no swimming skills.
Wow.
And here's another important percentage. When parents have no to low swimming skills or ability, their children are unlikely to have proficient skills. This affects 78% of African American children, 62% of Hispanic Latino children, and 67% Caucasian children. So even though there's a great, a wide gap for, us in general, when there's parents that don't have any or very low skills, all those numbers are high, are hitting about 70%. So, yeah.
Well, I want to commend the parents.
Question.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I did not know that they had those statistics available on the Red Cross site. But hats off to parents, listen, that are on here now, that you said, I can't, but I'm making sure that my children know how to swim. Okay. And if you get an opportunity, I'm going to say you need to learn too, but we need to learn, not you. We need to learn too. Okay. So thank you, James. So let's go into some safety tips. Rhonda said, I definitely agree. We foster a fear within our kids because of personal tragedies and known water-related deaths. Exactly. Oh, yeah. I agree. Definitely agree 100%. Ajada says, a lot of women don't want to get their hair messed up. Yes. And don't take time to learn. It's actually normalized not to swim at swim parties. What? It's normalized not to swim at swim parties these days, Ajada? Really? I know Ajada is in the 30s age rate. What? That is wow. Well, listen, if I'm going to a swim party, I'm going to swim. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Rhonda and Ajada. Those are some very great comments. Thank you all so much for this interaction. If you're just joining us, we're talking about water safety awareness. We have James Gadson, and that Selena agreed. Yes, Ajada, the hair. And we're talking right now just about how many of African Americans actually know how to swim, and then their children. Christina said, no, seriously, everybody is standing around the pool and nobody swims. I don't know what kind. This definitely a age gap, generation gap. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in that water.
Because I am getting in the pool, whether I'm going in the 12 feet or not. I know, Denise, that's why I'm shocked also. Okay. I'm shocked. Okay. So James, let's go to some safety tips while we can. Oh, this is so good, you all. This is really good. So, what are some? If someone said, "Hey, James, what is the number one?" If you didn't tell anything else, what is the number one? There's like one safety tip that outweighs the rest of them. What would that be?
Sure. So I think out of all the rules that there are out there, the paying attention is the number one rule. Just paying attention, being aware of your surroundings, no matter what body of water you're in.
Mhm.
Most people go to the beach to relax, to hang out, go to the pool to relax, hang out, go to the
Mhm.
lake to relax or hang out.
Mhm.
But that can also, it should be one of the most times you should be aware of your surroundings. So
Mhm.
and I believe that could be one of the reasons why drownings, or why people, tend to, get too relaxed and
Mhm.
they tend to get out there
Mm.
in the water and thinking, oh, it's just a great time, which it is.
Right.
But the awareness has to be heightened even more so than, you know, being out somewhere else or being at a cookout or hanging
Mhm.
out with friends. Being around the water, we cannot um, forget how important being aware of your children, your family members, other people,
Right.
just being aware for sounds, for screams, for,
Mhm.
you know, um, rough housing, things like that.
Yeah.
Just being aware of your
Yeah.
surroundings.
And I think that's good because one of the things that I was thinking about is children like to imitate people that can swim, right? And if we're not paying
Mm-hmm.
attention, it's so easy for a child because I know even now, like in the bathtub, but even when I take my granddaughter to the pool, she really thinks she can swim and she does not know anything. She really thinks she can swim. Like because
Mm-hmm.
she's seen people swimming and she's been around swimming and she thinks that she can swim. Latoya said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, Lord." Tell me what is that yes for, Latoya? Yeah, she really thinks she can swim. Is it that Libby thinks she can swim? Yes, she really thinks, and you will see her, and she be like, "Move!" She tries to push me off of her, and I'm trying to explain to this 2.5-year-old baby, you cannot swim yet. I'm
Yeah.
going to teach you, but right now, Gigi has to hold you. So there, she said,
Mm-hmm.
Libby is telling Latoya said that her daughter is telling folks that she can swim and she can do small stuff, but not all the way. So, right. So they like to imitate. And
Yeah.
so that's why that number one rule, you all, everyone, look, type in there, pay attention. Pay attention. Pay
Mm-hmm.
attention. That is the number one rule. And James, like I said on that Instagram post, that is what caught my attention
Mm-hmm.
when you said body of water swimming and I came from a small town where there are lakes, right? Thank you, Latoya. Where there are lakes, dropping there, pay attention. Where there my granddaughter does the same thing. Yes, Denise, where there are bodies of lakes, right?
Yes.
And people are
Yeah.
out and you see the whole community and everyone's out and about, right? And like you said, that is
Mm-hmm.
the time where most adults we go to the water for serenity to relax.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we definitely have to stay on most guard because as the Instagram post said, it is a silent killer and it can happen so quick. Jessica Gaston said, I agree because drowning is silent. Yes. And even children that can swim, wow, can tire
Right.
out. Woo!
Yeah.
Jessica, that is so good. Thank you, Selena, for dropping pay attention in there. Listen, you all, that is a great point. Even if the child can swim, and even if our children can swim, they tire out. And it's a
That's a
silent, it
very good
is.
point.
It's silent. That is a great point. That's
Mhm.
James White. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a
Yeah.
great. Oh my gosh, Jessica. I never thought about that
That's a really
in
good point.
preparing for this whole discussion. I never thought about that, but that is so true that they tire out. Go
I
ahead, James.
wanted to add just a couple stories that came to mind. Me growing up around the water, swim lessons at 3, 4. Um, we often went to Myrtle Beach to go, have fun. It was just a summer thing. One summer, I'll say I was about 8 or 9, and I went out, confident, guns a blazing, ran out there like, I was on Baywatch, just, run out there in the ocean. And the next second I know, I'm caught in a rip current. And I don't know if you all are aware of what rip currents are,
Explain to
but
us, what is that?
it's basically where I believe two waves collide at the shoreline. And as waves come into the shore, they also have to go back out. So what happens is when two waves collide at some point, at any point on the beach, the current will clash and it pulls you out out to sea, and you have no control over anything you're doing. You could be swimming along and then all of a sudden get yanked into it. And
Jesus.
all I can remember, and I remember it till this day, and like I said, I was about 8 or 9. All I remember is just me reaching out. Like I'm just picturing myself in a washing machine, or just being turned over. And thankfully, I had the wind in my lungs to wait it out. I didn't know to swim out of it at that point. I was just trying to fight against it. But yeah, all I can remember is reaching out, and all I could see was sand,
Jesus.
sky, just
Jesus.
being tumbled around. And unfortunately, my dad was able to get me out. But
So
yeah,
your
definitely
dad knew how to swim?
no, it was so he was a tall guy, big
Okay.
guy, so he was already standing in it. But the way these rip currents work, if you're not planted in the ground, like planted, in the
Uh-huh.
sand or whatever, you're at the mercy of the wave. So it'll pull you out. But my dad was fortunately able to grab me and pull me out of it. But
Ooh,
yeah, it's something I would never forget.
wow.
Never forget. So
8 or 9,
and even
was that super scary, James? I mean, I know it was super scary. Like,
definitely,
were you afraid to go back
definitely.
in the water after that happened, or?
There was, I mean, even at 8 or 9, there was the hesitancy to go back because, you build such a confidence up. And by that time, I had been in the water for what 5 years. So, and I was very aware, swimming up and down the pool and doing my thing in there.
Mhm.
But I, from that day on, I've developed a healthy perspective of how dangerous the beach can be.
Yeah.
Um, and it was something that even experienced swimmers, you can unfortunately fall prey to.
Mhm. And you know what I just
So
thought
yeah.
about? What if your dad wasn't paying attention? What if he wasn't paying attention? He was paying attention and knowing the difference. Wow. So, oh gosh, there's so many good
Mhm.
comments up here. Woo. Okay, I see Christina said paying attention and knowing the different signals slash flags, lifeguard whistles, flags, high and low tide at the pool, beach,
Mhm.
lake, etc. is so important too, especially when traveling to a new or different place. Christina, that's so good because I read something about that the other day, that if you see a certain color flag, who knows what that is? If you're
Mhm.
at the beach or something and you see this flag, that means. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not know. I had no clue of that.
Mhm.
Who else? Anyone know what that is? I don't remember. They just said if you see that flag,
Yeah.
stay away from the
Mhm.
water, that color. And I don't remember what it is. But I
Mhm.
don't like the beach water. Yeah, I'll go right there. But I'm not going. I'm not going far
Keep
out.
your
I can
toes
tell
in.
you. Yeah, I know my limitations, right? But there's some
Yeah.
people that love it. They surf and all that. Hats off to them.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's
Not me.
go
Not me.
where James, while I'm reading these comments, I want you to be getting ready to give us some safety tips. We have about, let's say, about 10 more minutes. And I want you to
Cool.
be giving us those safety tips, and we'll go through the slides and we'll talk about those. Um,
Definitely.
okay. Rhonda says, this is a good discussion, you all. Rhonda says, if you fall in water, stand up. My cousin's
Mhm.
8 years old. sitting in a pier. His friend 8 slipped. He panicked. My cousin jumped in. They both drowned. The water was about 3 feet deep. Both were over 3 feet. Wow. Wow. I don't how I mean they were in a pool. Like how do you if James, is there anything like if Rhonda, I'm first I want to say I'm so sorry. Wow, that happened. These are the experiences that sometimes like what we were talking about, like with adults that we experience these things, right? And they like even with you, James, they stay with us. If someone happens to fall in the water, and if a child happens to fall in the water and they can't swim, I know we didn't talk about it. What is there anything that you would say to do? What can they do? Rhonda said stand up. Is there anything? But I'm thinking like I guess if what if you stand up and the water is above you? You know what I'm saying? So how like what so what is that just happened to be both they were, but so what do you recommend if someone happens to fall in, child or adult, and they do not know how to swim, what can they do?
Sure. So
Is that like a
the my
how do
mind goes back to
Mhm.
sure, yeah, my mind goes back to the entry level introductory lessons that are in just about it should be in every water safety class. And that's a good point for parents. Make sure make sure they can provide a layout for what they're trying to teach you and what goals there are to make sure that even the program is safe. Because there are certain things that you can't jump when you're learning, swim lessons or you're learning things about water safety. You can't skip levels. You can't go to level
Mm,
3 without level 2 and level 1. So what we taught at the YMCA and at the pools that had Red Cross certifications was to teach kids how to, if in the event they slide or fall into the water, we taught them how to turn around and grab onto the side of the pool as the initial reaction. Because, inevitably, if you fall into the water, you're going to fall off a edge of some sort. There's going to be some type of edge around you in the pool, of course, where you're able to grab onto something. So we practice that. We drill that into the kids.
wow.
We practice that over and over until they get that down to okay. They're not even standing up off on the side of the deck until they understand how to hold on to the side of the deck. That's a very good point. We don't have them, jump in until the end of class. But anytime they're on the, sitting or waiting to their turn to swim, they're sitting on the edge, and or they're either holding on to the side of the pool deck to practice to build that subconscious like, hey, okay, this wall is my safety net,
Mhm, mhm.
so to say. We call it, a lot of things for kids, like Batman, Spider-Man, whatever, just something that will connect with them
Yeah.
so you can get ingrained. And same goes for adults. Height, the wall doesn't dictate height. Anybody, whether you're 3 foot, 6 foot, you have access to the wall, and that wall won't go anywhere. So, I sorry to hear that story about the peer situation. Um, and that's why, it's one of those situations of knowing yourself around the water and
Yeah.
knowing the tendencies that can
Mhm.
happen when you're around any body of water.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're not comfortable, if you don't have the skills to swim, or you don't have the water safety, tips, or you're not well versed in the area, then I practice prevention. So preventing means preventing my kids from being close to the edge of the pier where the rail is. So because I know they're curious, they'll go
Right.
running, they'll think they
Right.
can jump in there. So what can I do to prevent those things from happening, so they won't happen? Thinking ahead, forward thinking.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when you get in those situations, it is tough to um, to navigate
And
when
to
you're in
even
that
think,
certain
right? Yeah,
space.
to
To even think,
think.
yeah,
Yeah. And I love that. I love
definitely.
what you said. He said the wall, right? So sounds like you're saying that you all create an environment where children and adults, when you are teaching them how to swim, you create that subconscious mind, grab the wall.
Mhm.
Find the wall. And then that way, I think knowing one thing to do might possibly help someone in that situation that if I can just, find the wall.
Mhm.
I thank you for sharing that, James. I see that Adrian said, my kids go fishing with my husband all the time in the river, and I'm always freaking out. I do have them at the pool often so that they're not afraid of the water. Adrian, can they? Oh, they can swim, but we still have to be careful. Okay. Yes,
Mhm.
we have to that pay attention and have to be careful because things happen so quick, right? Selena was talking about the rip currents, that they're very scary, and and they agree. Adrian is dangerous, and Selena said we grew up going to Myrtle Beach. Also, I'm so afraid of rip currents. Yes, Christina
Mhm.
said pay attention and knowing the different. Okay, we talked about that. Latoya, you can go far out in Destin, Florida. Now, what do you mean by that, Latoya? Um, yes,
I think she's referring to the distance that you can swim offshore. I think that's what she's
uh-huh, uh-huh.
referring to, going far out into the
Okay,
because some beaches have. I think Christina was referring to this how in I didn't just catch the other lady's name, but you
Latoya.
can walk out in certain beaches to in 3 feet of water until it drops, and
Ah,
oftentimes it's that drop off where people get a little, nervous because, you're walking out, 1 foot, 2 foot, three, and it's a gradual, but then it gets to a point where, ocean hits and there's no longer a shoreline. So,
yeah,
and it varies. It's not a straight line across the shore where, oh, if you walk out 20 feet, that's where the drop off is.
right.
Lakes already have a buoy line set up to where it prevents you from going out a certain distance because they measure, like, okay, however, whatever depth that the lake is set up to be, their distance, 8 feet, something like that, it's already buoyed off. It has a net that drops down to the bottom of the lake floor to tell, stop people from going further. But
Ah,
for
okay.
beaches, you don't have you don't have that buoy line. Or, well, it depends on what beach. I'm not going to say that, but most areas don't just have a buoy line stretching all the way across the beach, across the shoreline. So that I think that's what she might be referring to.
Oh,
In,
so
in
she said
Destin.
I was saying because I said that I don't go out in the beach water, that I stay on the edge. She
Mhm.
said she was saying that you can walk further in Destin because I don't play, but I was shocked how I could walk out a little further than I was comfortable with. I don't care how much I am not. This my limit. This is the edge,
This is
and
it.
this is me.
This is my line.
This is me. I don't. No, I'm
Yeah.
not. No, no. I'm so happy for you, Latoya. All
Yeah.
right, James. All right, James. Let's go through these slides really quick, and then we are going. And listen, if
Okay.
you all have any questions for James, please go ahead and drop them in as we are going through these. He's going to go really sort of quickly. Stop us if you have any
Sure.
questions on this. If you have any comments, we are wrapping up, guys. But I thought this was really good when you're talking about what children should be wearing in terms of safety, what just safety tips. All right, James, tell us about this.
Sure. So we back when I was lifeguarding, we saw these quite often, and we're trained, or that
I have a question. How
your
many of you
your
all think that
department.
this is? How many of y'all think that this is good and this is going to help the kids? So, what do y'all think? Do y'all think this is? Do y'all think this is good, life saving? What do y'all think? Yes, no, maybe so. Life saving, yes. No, no. What do you all think? Tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat. Latoya said no. Okay. All right. Anybody want to say why? Latoya said no. All right. Anyone else? Okay, James. This is not life saving, right? Does anyone know why?
Right.
Let us know, James. Go ahead.
Sure. So the main
Latoya
thing you
said
want to
I
look
will
at.
drown with those. She said not good. Okay,
Oh,
Jessica said not good. No chest support.
mhm.
I love that, Jessica. Latoya said I will
Yep.
drown with those. Yes.
Yep.
Selena said this
Yep.
is very helpful. Okay. All right. Go ahead, James. Tell us about it.
Yeah, definitely. So these are seen frequently at rec pools, and the director, manager on duty should train lifeguards to um, identify, spot these. The kids typically are kids wearing these, not adults. I would not advise. The adults should not be wearing these at all. These are not going to do anything for the adults.
Uh-huh.
But the kids, we see these frequently with, and we talk to the parent like, hey, we see your kid, your child has these flotation devices. We call them arm floaties. We have, I see that they're on, but a good pool, a great pool, would have the approved ones on hand. So what they will do is just, have these off, and we'll give them the ones that are approved. And the main goal is to make sure that the flotation device, the Coast Guard calls them PFDs, personal flotation devices.
Okay.
Making sure that the arm floaties have a chest support to keep the child's chest above the water at all times. So it prevents them from dipping forward. With these, yeah, they look cool, but they won't do much in regards to saving, preventing drowning.
That's very good. All right, next slide. Let's see. All right, what about this? Have you all seen these? These so cute, but they just says here. Tell us about these, James.
Sure. Yeah. So this is approved.
Okay.
And you can also, this style is approved. I believe this is a type of PFD, flotation device.
Because it has the
that is
chest,
approved.
because it has it. This is approved, you all. When you are looking for safety vests and safety floating devices, we are looking for the chest. Is that it, James? The chest.
Yes.
And then so that they can stay afloat. Okay. All right.
You want that, and you want to make sure that on the back of every PFD, every life jacket, there is a Coast Guard seal of approval that is on the back of it. So if you flip this type of flotation device over, you'll see it across the chest. It'll be inside facing the child, like it'll say U.S. Coast Guard approved.
Have you all seen that? Coast Guard seal
that is approved by law
to be on the floating device. Let me know if you all have seen those on there. I bought one. Actually, I was going to buy one, and my daughter said, "Nope, you cannot get that one, mommy." And that's when I saw the one that had a whole bunch of tags. It was a whole bunch of tags and information and pamphlets to go with it. Yes. So that was good. All right, next slide. Let's see. All right, water safety tips. Did we talk about any? What do we have here for the pool environment?
Sure. So this is from the American Red Cross site. I advise any parents to take a look at the Red Cross site. It has a ton of information. It is free, has resources, has posters, things of that nature.
Okay.
So basically, this is good to have just the basics of what you need to know before going to the pool, to rehearse yearly, with your kids.
That's good.
So we go through a couple points here. Swim in designated areas supervised by lifeguards. Always be aware of where the lifeguards are at all times. Some pools, like hotels, apartments, don't have lifeguards on duty. I think by law they have to have some type of signage saying that, and it's pretty big. You can see it as soon as you walk in. No lifeguards on duty. Swim at your own caution or something like that. But most recreational YMCA, any large pools, they have lifeguards on stand. Feel free to have the child introduce themselves to the lifeguard. Things of that nature. And also, just build a communication with the lifeguard to have them comfortable. To report anything they may see suspicious. To even sorry, I lost you there.
We can still hear you. We can still hear you. Go ahead.
Gotcha.
And see you. We can still hear you and see you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, just being aware of the lifeguard and Also, I see a lot of other points here. Your lifeguard on duty should know these by heart. And these rules, these water safety tips do coincide with the general pool rules that are found on any pool when you're walking in. They're typically found on like the entrance or things like that. It's about 20, 20 rules to, go through. And yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Yeah.
This
Did you
is
want to
so
touch on anything else?
Yeah, this is so good. Listen, we will put the other information up. We ran out of time. This was so good, James. As we are closing out, I want you to be thinking of some last words. You all, if you thought this was great, let James know, like, this was great. Hashtag, I think our hashtag needs to be just stay safe, right? We said pay attention, like water safety. Yeah, hashtag water safety. That's it. Hashtag water safety. As James is thinking about his last words for you all, his tip for parents and for the children and aunties and uncles as we're going. I even thought about, as he was talking about, we're going on vacations and we're staying in hotels, and there are pools and there's nothing's around there to stop them, and kids are excited, they go running. We have to pay attention, you all. We have to pay attention. I want to share this as we're closing out. My experience. Yes, thank you, Latoya. Hashtag water safety. Libby said those are definitely approved. Her words. Listen, I had an experience, and things happened so fast. A young guy, as many of you know, I worked with children in a group home for 18 years, and we had from ages 8 to 21. Most of the children came to us to modify their behaviors. If you thought this was good, say let us know. Share this video out. Let us know. Say, yeah, this was some good information. Let James know. James, we thank you so much. What happened is, we got one child in. He was a young boy, and he came in at 8 years old. Well, because he was so young, he spent so much time away. I would take him to my house, to my personal house, away from the group home, because most of the other kids were teenagers. And he left and he went back to, I think he went to a foster care. His behavior became more manageable, and he went to a foster home. And I got a call one day. His name was Adonis, and I got a call from his caseworker. That he went to a foster home, and the foster home had a lake in the back, and they don't know what happened. They just know that he went out, and then he drowned at 9 years old. And when I got the call, I think it was 9 or 10 by that time. It was so devastating, because I thought about it. I was like, man, like he was the same age. I let him come because he was the same age as my children. And so he spent so much time with us, and that's why, and it just happened so quick. And I kept asking his caseworker, what happened? How did this happen? And she said, I don't know. She said, they don't know whether he walked out playing in the yard. You know how they have like the ponds in the backyards or whatever. I don't know, lake. I don't know, but it was in the foster parents' backyard, and he drowned. So things happened so quickly. So I just thought that this was very close to my heart. And as you can see, a lot of other people heart, just of different experiences that we all have with water, whether we're learning as adults, learning ourselves to be more comfortable in the water, whether we are getting our grandchildren and our children. I think this is something that we all can relate to in one way or another. So, James, thank you so much. I want to remind you all that we have our campaign to reach 200 subscribers. Listen, go ahead, and if you can text the link to our YouTube link to someone. I saw that we got some more subscribers today. When you know something, you have like coworkers that have, children, that you can just say, hey, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you can text the link to them, send it in Messenger to them. That's how you can help us. If you know someone directly, get the link into their hands and tell them to subscribe. You have cousins, 5 cousins, send it to each one of them. Tell them to subscribe. Okay. So Thank you all so much. Remember our giveaway. The winner will be announced next Tuesday, June 25th. And you get a point for every time you share it out. Every time you tag someone, you get a point, and we'll tally these points. And next Tuesday is going to be a special Father's Day episode. So it's going to be great, you all. Special Father's Day episode. So we want your husbands, the men in your lives, we want them to join in. It's going to be super powerful. I already know it's going to be powerful. Ladies, we want to be here too. I will be here too, but it's what we want the men here as well. James, last words. We said water safety. Thank you. I see some people already started dropping water safety in there. What are some last words you want to, and with tips you want to leave for our viewers?
Definitely. The reoccurring thing that plays in my mind is don't fear. Don't allow fear to make to be the divide or the guiding factor for the decisions you make towards water safety. Yes, we hear the statistics about drowning, but there's also a lot of people who are and who have conquered their fear and who have pressed past that wall of hesitancy to become great swimmers. From not being able to swim to being avid and excellent swimmers. And all it takes is that first step in finding a comfortable, someone you're comfortable with, finding a healthy environment where you feel like you can excel in. So I continue to push, parents, children, make it a bonding thing. It may be something you want to, just bond with your children or bond with family member. I definitely just harp on that. Just don't let fear rob you from achieving your goals.
I love that.
Or reaching those things that you want.
I love that. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. James, thank you for sharing your experiences. Listen, tag us in your swimming lessons this summer. If you get swimming lessons, tag Light It Up TV. Let us know. Listen, we took that advice. We are moving forward with our swimming lessons. This was great, you all. Until next time, remember to light it up. James, stay on. Remember to light it up, guys.